Sports. It's in the game.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Lions. With that, let's get up to Ford Field in Detroit. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Detroit Lions. Hi again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, as we get set for our matchup tonight, we saw the quarterback comparison at the outset. We get to watch a couple of good ones here, don't we?
And it's a dramatic scene, isn't it? Whenever you get a night game, things are just a little bit more heightened with a little bit more spotlight, and we get to see two good guys go at it here.
Here's the punter, Sam Martin, now ready to get us started. And we are underway from Ford Field. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And this is a guy who cares totally about his team. He will do whatever it takes for a play to be successful and for his team to win. I've seen him become a lead blocker on running plays, even though I'm sure his coaches don't want him anywhere near that pile.
They come out here in the eye. Now they run with Sims. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And now an introduction here to the starting 11 on offense. And one of the good wideouts, of course, is Vincent Jackson.
And when he's on the field, you don't play small ball. You make sure you get it out to that guy and let him go get it.
Again with Sims. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. The play fake to Sims. Now Winston surveying the field. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up Ford.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Lions, it's Golden Tate. On the return, it's Tate. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-arm guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Now here's the first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child, Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense, and he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
So the offense needing 4 yards. It's third down.
Everyone's got 4. 4 down. Set. Waiting. Hey, Zebra. Watch the edge.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. It's brought in by Bolden. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Big 20. Check. Presto.
Stafford on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A pickup there of 37. And it'll be first down, Lions.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Hey, 4 down. Set. Go 20.
On first down, Abdullah. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to look at the starters for Tampa Bay. And, Charles, how about Vernon Hargreaves?
A pick they were excited to make because in their division, they've got to have guys who can slow down some of the best receivers in the league. And Vernon Hargreaves fits that profile. Very sharp, very intelligent. He operates well on the corner.
Double tight, guys. Double tight. 4 down. Set. Waiting.
On second down, here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter whether they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They run. Abdullah. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2, now third down. Now from back at the 5, this is third and goal. Now Stafford on third and goal. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Eric Ebron from 4 yards out. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
At the end of one, but it's the Lions that have the early lead. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Now Sims. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. Eight yards still remaining here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete. Charles Sims, the intended target. And 4th down coming up.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
2nd down to the offense needing 5 yards.
Big 20, big 20. Ready, go 20.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The left side completion to Jones. 11 yards for number 11.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll buy some time right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he comes back with one complete. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, will step aside. So a fumble on second down. They're able to maintain possession, brings up third. Third and 2, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there and also a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On first down, Stafford here. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
They did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. Complete here to the right to Bolden. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
It appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
The motion man is Tate. On first down, it's Stafford. Steps away. It's brought in left side by Tate. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. From the red zone now, Stafford sliding out of the pocket to the right side to Eric Ebron. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Stafford looks to throw again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. The pigskin on the 7-yard line now. It's 1st and goal. This is Abdullah. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class, and there was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Again, it's Abdullah. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And that is incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's 4th down. Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a 15-play drive. Can't believe that only resulted in 3, but it did.
That is somewhat amazing, isn't it? When you hold the ball that long, run offense that well, yet only put 3 points on the board, it has to be a little bit of a disappointment, doesn't it?
Has to. And now the Buccaneers offense gets set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
From the gun, Winston. He's got time. And Winston lost the football. And that will set him up in excellent shape. First and goal at the 9-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does. And I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime you didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. And the slot man goes in motion left. On second down, here's Stafford. Rolling to his right. That is caught inside the 5. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Stafford escaping the pressure right. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter.
Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh boy, you wish you hadn't.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now a second down throw for Winston. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half here, Winston. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we have reached Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Lions right now are doing a good job protecting their house. The Buccaneers, on the other hand, want to quiet this crowd and turn things around. All right, let's roll the highlights. First and 10, Stafford's completion is made out of the gun, and he won't be brought down until he makes it to the 23-yard line. Lions later on the drive, Ebron is found on the quick pass, and it leads to a touchdown. Lions land the first punch. Now first and 10, Buccaneers would later fumble and turn the ball over. fumble. Stafford's under pressure and throws the pick. Buccaneers defense gets off the field with the turnover. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you back up to Ford Field as we hand it back over to Brandon Guy.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Andre Roberts now to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a first down throw. Stafford. They'll roll him out right. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Stafford. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Set, 80.
A second down run for Abdullah. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Bolden goes in motion left. On first down at Stafford. He'll buy some time right toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Stafford on first down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. And he's got room. Picked off by Brent Grimes. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Tackle made there by Haloti Nada.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Ezekiel Ziggy Ansah with a tackle for loss. Just think he's still learning the game of football. Didn't play a heck of a lot of it in his native country, and at BYU was just scratching the surface before he hit the NFL.
Yeah, from Ghana, where he really liked soccer and basketball, but football's okay for him, right?
Yeah, I think it's worked out very well. Drafted on potential, he's realizing it here.
Right side caught by Jackson. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Tate. A beautiful fake. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions will take over. And they begin the drive with Abdullah. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. 2nd down following the run.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Flat. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's one of those ones that is so hard to judge, but defensive holding there, that's what the referee saw. On 1st down, Stafford here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? But sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. The Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. Got a man, it's right. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was 4th down, and the possession changes. A call in luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They go with Abdullah again. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain. Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Flush to his right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. And the seemingly endless drive continues.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Caught on the right side by Jones. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. On 4th down, Stafford. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
A dump off to Sims. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
4th quarter, 2-minute warning about to hit, and it looks like they're going to get one more play in.
Be interesting to see what they try and do on this play. Do they try and take a shot, or do they just try and get to the 2-minute warning?
They'll run here with Sims. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Winston. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Winston. This is caught by Jackson. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Shakes off the sack. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
Holding offense.
So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
To throw is Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Throwing, Winston. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. One receiver to the left is Evans. Winston. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that you needed 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll need to get the ball back.
So, Brandon, the question is, how do you accomplish that? You can onside kick it, but remember, since you've got all 3 timeouts, you can still kick it deep and try to play defense.
And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up and they tend to play well.
Ebron with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Stafford going to throw it. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been...
And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And this defense looks for one more stop here on 3rd after the run. Now it's Stafford, eluding the pressure right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And able to find Decker. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Prater on to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point...
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
Well, the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 3rd and 5. Winston from the gun on third down. He finds Humphreys. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Jameis to throw it. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down. Second down following the incompletion.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing here, Stafford escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game.
Here we go, Blaney.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford flushed out right. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.
EA Sports. It's in the game.